Hey, family, come on in.
Good
come on
evening,
in.
everyone.
Yeah.
As you're coming in, let us know where you're streaming from today.
Yeah, we representing, We represent.
I think we play Southern this weekend.
Oh, really?
Yep, Florida A&M and Southern University.
Last week was homecoming.
Yes.
Yeah.
All
Come
right,
on
let
in,
us know where you're
come on
streaming
in.
from as you're coming in.
Let us know where you are streaming from.
Yes.
You want
You
some
had a
water?
good day? Oh, no, thank you.
I did have a good day. I got up at 5 o'clock.
Yes, you got up.
And I left
really
and I
early.
spoke in Tampa.
Mm-hmm.
And then after I spoke in Tampa, I had to go do some more court recording for the upcoming movie that we are producing as a ministry for the Christmas holiday. The Ultimate Gift is going to be fire.
Yes.
And then after that, I had to do some promo recording for my new book. Not quite out yet, but
we are so excited.
We are so excited, and it's going to be really cool. So,
yeah.
Anyway, let's jump in today. Well, my name is Jomo.
I'm Charmaine.
And we get together on Friday nights
for real, raw, and relevant conversation
dealing with relationships. So, as I was thinking about a topic for this week, what came to my mind was I'm a football junkie. Okay, so I love watching sports and football and all the other stuff. And I saw that Tom Brady, the great Hall of Fame quarterback for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers,
right,
and his beautiful supermodel wife, Giselle, are getting divorced.
Right.
And I'm thinking to myself, if the most successful football player that ever lived, and arguably,
she has a really great career.
Arguably, the wealthiest supermodel. I think she's worth like $300 million.
Right.
Golly, she's worth more than he. And I don't know how she do it, but anyway.
So we know that it's not money.
So therefore, that helps us understand that even with all the money, the privilege, the life, the beautiful kids, it wasn't enough.
It wasn't enough.
So as I thought about this, it made me think about careers and how careers, if you're not careful, can separate. Now, I don't know their business. I'm just looking from the outside in. From what I've heard, she wants him to retire and be a family man.
Right.
He was a football player before he met her.
Right.
And I don't think that drive is satisfied as a family man. Her thought, which I actually side with her. Okay, this is unusual, but I'm siding with her, is that he's 45.
I don't even think he would be a family man. I think he would do like more broadcasting work and that type of thing.
And the thing is, the broadcasting contract was more money than playing football.
Right. It wasn't about that. For him, it was about the career.
It's a career. And so her thought was, baby, if they hit you the right way, you might not be right ever again.
Right.
So her watching the game was fearful that he may get hurt with a lifetime injury because I don't know if you know this, but professional football players don't have a long lifespan.
Because of the impact their body takes during football. And it is very, very hard to sit in the stands of a live football game. And it's not just entertainment for you, but your loved one is out there getting hit. And if you hear the hits,
it's like a car accident.
It is very traumatic just to be there.
Yeah.
And I know as a wife, when we would sit in the stands and somebody didn't get up, it was like you couldn't cheer or yell. It was like you just felt so bad for his family, his children, his wife are sitting in the stands hoping that their father, husband, brother, son gets up off the ground.
Correct.
And it's really hard. And then you see them get up off the ground and then 3 plays later, they're back on the field. And you know that they're not right.
Correct.
So it's very difficult. It's a difficult career, not only for the football player, but for the family as well.
Agreed.
And our hearts go out to, people that are in this situation because I'm sure he's been playing football all his life. He may not see himself as doing anything else.
Yeah. And that is what has made him. That is what provided.
Right.
That is his entity.
I'm sure it was his dream.
His dream. I mean, he's killed every dream. I mean, there is no quarterback that will ever be where he is, unless Mahomes. I mean, that might be the only one close because you have to 7 Super Bowls.
His longest career was New England Patriots, right?
But 7 Super Bowls. That's amazing. So I said all to say that my topic tonight is marriage killers.
Marriage killers.
And this is pertaining to jobs that people have that are detrimental to marriage. So
when you said this is what we're going to be talking about,
yeah,
I thought about how, and I'm going on another angle.
Okay.
How
I like
in
angles.
society, I remember growing up, and it wasn't always like this. The family structure has changed so much because our little girls, we don't want them to depend on the man anymore. You can do it yourself. You get your own degree. You get your own career. You get your own, she pay her own bills, right? It's songs about it. And I think now that has evolved into something that they didn't even realize. And some women don't even want to get married anymore. Some women don't want to have children anymore. They are so career driven. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that if that's what you want to do. But I don't think when we started changing the family structure and teaching our children, to be more career oriented, that we thought that it was going to be a generational thing where some women may not even want to be a part of a family.
Correct.
And I hear a lot of women that are super successful in their own right, super successful in their careers, CEOs, boss chicks running, huge companies, Fortune 500 companies, CFOs, and they don't have any children. They might not be married, and they're good with that. Like, they are good. And, sometimes you think like, wow, was that going to be how your life was going to be regardless? Or was it somebody, that taught you that this is what you should do?
Correct.
Because it's a lot that has to do with climbing up the corporate ladder, especially as a female. Correct. And the things you have to deal with, because a lot of the industries that we are dominating now are very male dominated.
Yeah.
Thank you. So I just wonder, when we talk about how careers can ruin relationships and marriages, how many of those same careers it's the woman that really doesn't want to be in a relationship either.
I totally agree.
Yeah.
And that's the question I want to ask today is, did you think about this when you were engaged or married your spouse, that their career could be the end of your marriage?
We would love to hear in the comment section, are you more career driven or family driven?
Yeah.
Career driven, family driven.
Because they're two different animals.
They are.
So the number one marriage killer, military or police officer.
Wow.
Now, military seems
obvious things.
Obviously, combat, trauma, PSTD,
time away.
There's so many variables that come to play.
It's very stressful. Not to know whether your spouse is going to come back home or not.
The things that they see.
The woman being left with children.
Oh my gosh.
Months.
I mean,
at a time.
There's jokes about how someone is sleeping with your wife while you're away.
Right.
Other soldiers are making jokes about and it's actually in boot camp. In boot camp, they are talking about somebody sleeping with your wife. Right. So now that brother or sister,
they have that in their head.
So they come back with a certain mentality, and then usually there's some kind of abuse or trauma after that, because they've been what it is.
Not all of them, but
it's not all. But what it is, they are trying to get the soldier ready for the potential
challenges
that come. So they say these things to try to minimize the potential damage of that happening. Now, the facts are, some military people get into relationships abroad,
right? And
some spouses who are home get into relationships. Right. The bottom line is, absence is not a good thing
in marriage.
Absolutely.
My father was in the Navy, and he would talk about how, he was in the clinic. So once the ships came back in after being gone for 9 months, 6 months at a time, sometimes longer, they would come back in, and there would be all of these STDs and things that people shouldn't have.
Pregnancies.
Pregnancies.
Are you pregnant on a ship?
Right.
How
And your
that happen?
husband is here.
How you come back pregnant?
Or your wife is here. How you leave off a parent. So it does happen.
Yeah.
And how you could minimize it, how you can control that.
Here's what you have to do. First off, make sure you have a strong counselor. Secondly, make sure you understand the choice you're making.
Right. Have a strong support system.
I know that I was in Europe for a short period of time on a job, and I know that it would not be a good thing long term.
Right.
Okay. Let me leave it right there. You just not going to survive.
Right.
Well, you can, but the people who survived, their wives were there.
Right.
Because the environment. So you have to be mindful of it. Now, I'm not saying all. I'm just saying it's more difficult. Okay, number two. This is weird. I didn't think about this. It says this. Radiologic. Is that?
Radiologic.
Technology. Okay. X-ray tech. Okay. Now, I don't understand this one. But based on research, they said because the person is in the medical field, and in general, the medical field is just, it just seems to be a hotbed for affairs.
Really? The medical field?
Yes. Doctors and nurses. And, I guess it's the scrubs. Scrub the ground. Scrub. I know. I just thought about scrubs.
Yeah, TLC, scrubs.
Okay.
I thought we was gonna be on the same page with that one.
No,
you were talking about scrubbing the ground. I'm talking about I don't want no scrubs.
Well, yeah, we both nothing had to do with actually the scrub. The gist of it is
they're spending long hours
at the
hospital together
overnight. Leads to other things. All right. Number three. Traveling salesperson. I was here before too. Yeah. And when you travel,
it's a time away again.
Correct.
And how you manage that.
My partner and I, we used to sleep in the same room. We get the same room.
For the accountability part.
Because a lot of people approached me. Not me, just me, but him too. But a lot of people approached me with what's your room number? What you doing tonight? Do you want company? And
you want some company?
And we had a rule. Me and my partner kind of knew what kind of women we liked. And if we saw a woman approaching one of us, we'd go over and say, "Come on, man, let's go." Because the challenge is you're trying to be hospitable. And
because you're trying to
sell something.
So you don't want to turn them off, but at the same time, you don't want to
turn them on.
Right.
And I know Charmaine would say, you used to have jokes. I know, go on the corner. That's what she tell me. Go on the corner and go sell some stuff and come home. That's what she called me. Putting me on the corner. Can you believe she would say that she put me out on the corner?
Are you kidding?
Yeah, no.
I didn't say go on the corner.
No, but you said go out there and do it. Anyway. Anyway. Traveling sales.
Right. And it all goes back to time away and how you manage that, how you surround yourself with a good support system and accountability partner, You're
on the right path though, because the next one, number 4.
What?
Coaching. Now, I know this for real. Why? A coach rarely sees their family. See, the reason why I wouldn't go into coaching personally was, think about this. You got to be there for practice. You have to be there for the game.
Yeah, you have to study.
Then you have to study after the practice and after the game. Then you got to recruit. It is all day long.
I remember the coaches' cars would not move from the time the game ended at the field house to like the next day.
I heard Nick Saban, who is the greatest college football coach of all time, the coach of Alabama. You know what he said? They asked him, how's it feel to watch all his players in the NFL? And he said this, I don't. And the person said, I mean, you have all these players in the NFL and you never see them play? He says, no, I'm studying for the next game. He says, my secretary, she comes in during our breaks and she gives me all the stats of our players and how they're doing for the game. But I actually never get to see them because I'm preparing for our next opponent.
Wow. He's so focused.
And that's a Sunday, by the way. That's a Sunday. And of course, and then coaches are always traveling. They're always recruiting. So it's just,
It's
again,
very demand. It's
there it
a
is.
very demanding.
You make a lot of money,
job.
but often you go through a lot of spouses.
Yeah.
All right, number 5, firefighter. Now, what was this? Well, they had that 3-day on, 3-day off. And oftentimes they're gone for a long time. Again, the same thing, absence. Now, you can make it work because I know a lot of good firefighters doing right. So I'm not trying to say all firefighters. I'm just saying it's tough on a marriage.
See, that's why you need to just be, like making casseroles and driving up, popping up. Hey,
just checking on you.
Yeah, community service.
Okay, the next one, social worker. You know what this one was? Social worker.
That's weird.
Well, what it was, they said it's the low pay. The low pay puts a lot of stress. So the couple argue about, why are you a social worker? And which, so the pay causes stress, which often leads, because that's their passion. And just because your passion doesn't pay doesn't mean you shouldn't do it.
Right.
But they're passionate about it. The next one, the last one, and this is an easy one. Massage therapist.
It's some porn videos with massage therapy.
For real?
Nobody has tried. I do. I ain't even gonna lie. There is. And
you watch pornography?
I have before.
Who were you watching it with? Listen.
I'm not throwing anybody under the bus.
Whoa. Listen, don't judge us. Okay?
Oh.
We would not always live in this life, okay? So we had some.
And even people that saved right now that's watching us, they watching porn right now. They got videos coming off the side of their screen because they've been on the porn sites, and you watching somebody do something right now as advertisement.
Oh, Lord have mercy. Help us, Jesus. Help us, Jesus. So
everybody got something.
Everyone's at different stages, different places.
Yep.
Okay. So
let's
not
go
be
back to massage therapy.
Okay, Mom.
I think that if you're putting yourself out there. The enemy has so many ways to you are rubbing a half-naked person at the end of the day. And males, females, it doesn't matter.
If you rub on a half-naked person too much,
right?
There might be, and I'm not talking about a male. I'm talking about a female. You rubbing a female. I don't care who it is. The key thing is touch.
You can get aroused.
There it is. Touch.
And if that person is, not used to touch,
then
it could be even more arousing for someone to.
So touch.
And then don't be attractive and be a massage therapist.
Because that was one of my goals in life, to be massaged. I'm playing.
I know you were, but I was gonna go in with you on that.
I saw your body, and I wanted to give it a massage.
But yeah, it's the profession.
It's the profession, and you have to be careful. Any possession where you touch somebody, there's something spiritual about touching.
Absolutely.
There's something that you could, a person, I don't know if you saw the movie Fallen with spirits, but it's real.
Oh my goodness, that is a scary movie to me.
It is,
and it's not supposed to be like a horror movie, but to me,
it's scary.
Yeah.
So you have to be careful with any jobs where you're touching people.
Right.
That's not your spouse, because you might transfer something you don't want.
Right.
And what we don't want, we only want happy endings at home.
I'll be speaking in tongues.
Yes.
They'll be like, what is she doing when she giving you those?
So,
casting spirits.
We love you. Thank you for your time. We pray you.
That was a dog. That's him. Aw, Phoenix.
I just felt something wet on my hands.
He didn't want to love on you. He just kissed your hand.
I thought it was some kind of massage. Anyway, have a wonderful night. Remember, love,
laugh, and learn. God bless you.
Have a good night. Bye-bye.
Good night.